It's on channel 3. DL number 100347587. Again, it's 100347587. First name Ricky, last name Price. We'll check 1-to-1 for the rest of the county, please. What happened?
He said the dog will be here in a few minutes.
Okay, who said that? Sorry. Okay. Go ahead. All right.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Moreno. What are you doing and what's going through your mind?
Well, right now, Agent Justice lets me know that Ricky Price has a wad, which is a large amount of money. Us knowing that he's a drug dealer, there's a likelihood that he could have drugs on him. And we also, I didn't know at the time, but we had intel that he was in possession of a firearm. But I didn't know that until after we got back to the police
When
station.
you say why, do we know how much he had?
I don't know the exact dominations, but it was a large amount of money that was sticking out of his pocket that Agent Justice was able to notify me about.
And the K-9 is on the way, is that correct?
Correct. He also let me know that Sergeant Watson had requested the police K-9, and that we just basically just had to wait for the dogs by that time.
And Your Honor, we're going to speed this up. This tape is totally 40 minutes, and we're going to try to get to the point, the meat of the tape.
You can pause right there. So
What's that?
that's K-9 Nikki indicating that she has the odor of drugs inside the vehicle. So originally, when you saw the traffic stop, the convertible top was back. And the reason why I brought the convertible top back up to the front by this time is because when the convertible top is coming down, Ricky tossed a gun back there, and then he hit it with the compartment. So I brought the convertible top back up, that way I can reach for the firearm that he had tried to hide on us.
Also, pretty quick, I think, can you try your laptop if you're looking for the volume, or your iPad?
Yeah, I tried to work it through the iPad, Your Honor, and you're going through the HDMI port onto the TV.
I don't know how to control the, let me see, maybe we can do it this way here.
You can go ahead without audio.
What is that?
That's the pistol that I retrieved, and Ricky makes eye contact with the pistol, and that's about the time where Agent Justice is discussing something with him, but I didn't know that discussion until I saw the body camera. And then I was placing the firearm and the marijuana inside that unmarked Dodge Charger.
Is that a laser
Um,
on that car?
they call it a beam, but yes, that's a laser.
there any way we can get the audio to play on this?
Back it up.
Let me just do this.
Now, can we have just a second, please?
If you wanna use the DocuCam here, on the white DocuCam here,
I'm just gonna do the, old school method here.
Hey, my man.
He give me a stop, man. You ain't gonna touch me. He give me a stop. Damn, man. You don't need to come to traffic stop. He got a gun on him. And I ain't hanging up. You understand what I'm saying? You don't. No, you ain't come telling me. You ain't doing nothing. He's that goddamn thing. Come on, put your phone. You joking? You ain't pushing up on me. You ain't pushing up on me.
So at that time, as you can see me approach Travis, nobody's telling me anything. Nobody's grabbing me. Nobody's saying, Moreno, relax. He's okay. He's just getting jewelry. Nobody's saying anything to me. So my only mindset is to make sure I control this individual's hands, because I don't know what he has in him. I don't know what he's retrieved already. I don't even know how he got there. So my understanding of the scene is way different than anybody else at that exact moment. I had an earpiece in my ear. I had a radio. I had a body camera that was going live with supervisors watching it from the police station at the command post. I had multiple officers and federal agents that were there. But the rule of this is the primary vehicle and the agency that's hosting is in charge. I'm Rock Hill, and I'm the front car. I've already told the agent to handcuff Ricky Price. I'm walking past Tom Justice, Agent Justice, and seeing Ricky agitated, unhandcuffed. I know what he's capable of. This isn't his first rodeo, and I have an unknown person behind officers. So as I approach Travis, it's very common for anybody to deceive us and say, hey, I got permission. Hey, they told me to come here. And it's a complete lie. So I can't trust that at the exact moment. All I can do is preserve the scene and keep us all safe. From there is when I'm talking to him, he's not backing up or listening to what I'm asking. Like, what are you doing here? Like, this is a different type of investigation. Like, what's your business here? And all he's telling me is something about getting some jewelry. We're not trained to give jewelry at a crime scene. You give jewelry when you're at the police department and you've already taken everything down, jotted it down, and then the suspect signs it off and says, yes, you may release this to my mother, you may release this to my girlfriend, you may release this to my children, whatever the case might be, but not on scene. After that, that's when the rest ensued.
When you get back to Rock Hill Police Department, do you work on your report?
I logged in and I tried to start it, but regardless of the riots taking place or not, that report does not have a deadline. Our deadline is we have 8 hours to get as many guns and drugs off the street with the amount of bodies that we have on the street.
When you logged on, did you leave your log on? Was it on so other people could get in it?
Yes, sir. It's very common for all of us to share our computers. We're a unit. We're not a one-man team. We're a team of guys, and the feds come and hang out with us in there. Our supervisors come hang out with us there. Detectives come in there. It's an unsecure location, and we just leave our stuff on, just because we know we're gonna come right back.
Okay. Did you periodically go back and add and delete things from your report?
I didn't have that time to focus the day of the incident. My focus went from pause everything you're doing and get ready for the riot.
Okay. But later on, did you go back and delete or add to your report?
I mean, maybe a sentence or two. The main thing that happened the day of to release to the media was Lieutenant Rainier came to my computer, sat down, and asked for each person's perspective. He asked what Investigator Soto saw, because Investigator Soto was a surveillance vehicle. What kind of traffic violations did he see? He created the introduction paragraph in regards to all the entities working together. He asked Agent Justice and I our perspective, and he started completing something to be able to pass along to our chain of command to give to the media, and that's how Lieutenant Chavis got his hands on it.
And the purpose of, what was the purpose of you going up to Travis?
My only purpose was to make sure that nothing was happening behind my officers.
And to secure the scene?
Yes, sir.
Why did you want to secure the scene?
Because drugs can be very small, and people step on them, grab them. We've had incidents where guns were thrown into trash cans by people not even related to the suspect, just because there's a lot of people a lot of variables out there when you're in the highest crime areas. From there, I was just trying to make sure I could clear his hands, clear his waistband, make sure there was no threat, and the rest of that just went from there.
Have you ever been on a crime scene before where individuals were let into the area of the crime scene?
For most investigations, and what you see on television is that yellow tape. But until that yellow tape is wrapped around the crime scene, you try to prevent anybody from coming in it. Whether it's a traffic stop, whether it's a shooting, whether it's a suicide. You just don't allow people to just walk in, because that, I mean, it's horrible for court purposes, but it also endangers all of us.
At some point in time, did Travis, is y'all chest bump?
Yeah, as soon as we met, and I said, my man, he just was a statue. He didn't immediately move back until him and I were chest to chest. And the best way I can compare it to is playing sports. It's like it's an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman, and we're just meeting there. And from there, when I realized he didn't give me his wrist, I immediately grabbed his shirt, and he turned his body. And I just wanted to make sure he wasn't trying to run or cock back for a punch or whatnot.
Beg the court's indulgence. Okay. Take a look at this and see.
So if you pause it right there, that gives a really good angle. The young lady right here that's filming, doing the whole investigation. For our unit, this is a very common practice. Anytime we're at a scene, people just begin filming us. So for us to be filmed is it's a normal thing. Plus we have body cameras on. The only body cameras that we have out of all the officers is myself and Officer Palmer. Nobody else has body cameras on.
You going to the Mustang?
Yes, sir. Sergeant Watson's in the Jeep, and Soto's in the white SUV parked at the customer parking area. As soon as I see this, after I heard that commotion, I didn't know who was yelling what, but I did hear the P word that you guys heard over the video, and that's when I went directly towards him. If you rewind it, you're gonna see me reach for his left wrist, and he's gonna pull away. And as I reach for his wrist and he pulls away, he turns his body. And that's when I immediately grab his shirt. I try to reach for his wrist and bring it down. He doesn't allow me to. And then he's eventually going to open his arms straight out. And that's when I make a decision. I can't outpower this guy standing up nor grabbing his wrist. I feel his body turn, and it's a hard to explain. If you've ever been in a wrestling match with your siblings, it'd be the easiest way to explain it, or playing sports.
Judge, just one minute, we got one more picture to show.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
All right, before we go into